All right, good morning, everybody. Some of you know me, some of you may not. My name is Guinevere. My maiden name was Guinevere Goins. I grew up in Prospect, North Carolina. I moved away at the age of 17 because I always wanted to travel the world and see the world. But one thing about me, I always loved to make money as legally as I could. And I loved making six figures. I always hustled and worked hard to make six figures. And by traveling the world, living in 9 states, 3 different countries, I was able to bump into other investors, bump into people who had become very wealthy or millionaires. And I quickly learned that by clocking in every day and working a 9-to-5 job, it will pay your bills, it will help provide for your family, but it would not create wealth. Well, I was overseas in Afghanistan working, making close to $200,000 a year tax-free, but that required me to be away from my family. It required me living in dangerous situations. So I started searching for a way to invest, and I learned about Forex. Well, like you, I had never heard of Forex. I didn't know it existed, so I thought maybe it was a scam. I did my research, I did my homework, come to find out that Forex had been around since World War II. Forex is very legal. Your bank trades your bank accounts, your 401k trades your retirement accounts. And I noticed that people paid $5,000 to $25,000 just to learn this. But I also noticed that the people who were good at it were making 6 to 7 figures a year. So I was fortunate enough to come across a program that I could afford, and I learned how to trade. It's changed my life forever. And I know that back home, Robeson County, our people, nobody has taught us how to invest. We're predominantly minority, Native American, and then Black. And now we have a high population of Hispanic. And it's one of those rare places to where, the minorities outrank everyone else. But unfortunately, it's one of the poorest places in the world, in the country to live. So I'm just going to share some statistics on Robeson County. Okay, if you can see my screen where it says tax rates for Robeson County, just drop a 1 in the chat. All right, if you look at this, it says the average income of a Robeson County resident is $15,460 a year. Guys, $15,460 a year is just a little over $1,000 a month. And you can't even buy a home off of that income. You can't get out of debt, and you can't have a good quality of life off that income. The US average is almost double what our average is. The median income is $30,000 a year, and the average income is $53,000 a year. And still, $53,000 to me used to sound like a dream. And then I grew up and I became a parent, and I wanted to buy houses, and I wanted to buy cars, and I wanted to take trips. And I quickly learned that $53,000 really is not a lot of money. By the time they take out taxes and you pay for the expenses of going to work every day, buying gas, buying food, buying clothes, paying for babysitters, out of that $53,000, you're going to have about $20,000 left to buy a house, pay your utility bills, buy grocery, and take care of your family because of taxes and the cost of living. So when I was able to go overseas and make close to $200,000 a year, I felt like a millionaire. But the thing was, I had to give up a lot of my time with my family. I had to put my life on the line. So when I learned to trade Forex, my life forever changed. Now I could make what I was making overseas from the comfort of my home. I saw other people able to earn 6 figures in under a year. And we have people on this call they're going to speak to you today and tell you about how Forex changed their life. And that average income of $53,000 a year, we have people on our team making that in a month. And these people have been trading 2 to 3 years. So in 2 to 3 years, they've been able to take our average income that we make in a year, and that is their monthly salary. But first, I want to start off with some of our beginner traders, because you guys, you're graduating seniors. You're going to have the whole summer. You're sitting at home quarantined. So I figured what better way to give back to you guys than to give you this opportunity for free. Last year, we taught some teens for free, and there's several of those teens right now who are making $1,000 or $2,000 a week trading Forex from a free boot camp like the one that I'm getting ready to give you guys. So I see Summer's from back home in North Carolina. Summer's one of the newest students. Summer, if you could give them about a minute or two of what you've experienced so far learning Forex.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. I'm actually from a tribe in Virginia. Um, I learned, am I okay to go?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. Um, I actually joined this team March 21st, so I've been in a little over a month. Just a little bit about myself. My life changed a few years ago when I became a single mom to my little baby 2-year-old. And due to financial reasons and wanting to provide love and stability for my child and myself, I made the decision to move back in with my mom and my dad. And during that time, I slowly regained my footing financially. I learned to become a better person, for myself, for my daughter. I've recently got engaged and I moved out of my parents' home. And lately, to be honest, life is clicking. I've overcome so many obstacles. I'm at a good point in my life, but I know that God also has a bigger plan for my life. And I've always wondered and searched for my purpose for Him, for God. Like, God, what is it that you want for me? What will I do to further your kingdom? What will be my testimony? I learned about Forex about 2 years ago when my sister told me about someone in her husband's community that was killing it financially. He's actually from North Carolina. Every now and then my sister would show me Gigi's Facebook posts, and I was definitely interested, but it wasn't my time to join. Eventually I started following Gigi on my own, and I decided to take a leap, and I joined the team. And um, I went in head first. I work on this craft any moment that I can, and trust me, I'm a busy person. I began trading my first week in April. So each week, each day has been a learning opportunity for me. The first couple weeks, I struggled making a profit, but by the third week, I made $949 in less than 24 hours. And the week after, which is actually this past week, I made almost $700 in one day. So in a month that I've been trading, I've already made more trading than I do work in my full-time job. Without a doubt, I know that this opportunity is life-changing for me, for my family, and so many others. I just had to give it a chance. My life has already changed. I have family and friends who want to join. Actually, my mom asked me this past week if she could join the team. She's like, what do you have to do to join the team? So, I'm starting to feel more confident about my future financially. But not only that, but I feel like this is an opportunity to provide for my family and to help others to learn how to do the same. Actually, the other day, I thought about what Forex means for me, and the craziest thing popped into my head. For me, I feel like I'm finally walking into my purpose. And, I don't fully know what that looks like, but I'm excited to see what God has planned for me and this wonderful, loving team of people that we have supporting us. So I thank y'all, and I hope y'all can give this a chance. I pray that all is well with you guys and that you each got something out of this. Thank you, guys.
Wow, I had no idea that Summer was doing so well, but guys, you heard that she made almost $1,000 in a day trading, and she's only been with us going on a month. She took this as a serious opportunity to change her life. And just looking at the statistics that, the average income, the income of $15,460 of a Robeson County resident, she made a month's salary in a day of trading Forex, and she's only been studying for a few weeks. And this is what we want to teach you guys. We don't want you to have to go out there and struggle like we did. If you go to college, we don't want you to have to take out these crazy loans and end up paying it back 20 or 30 or 40 years like a lot of us had to. So that's just amazing. I had no idea she was doing so well. So Summer, thank you. That's awesome. Chelsea, could you tell us a little bit about your story and how Forex has changed everything for you?
Good morning. Good morning, Summer. That was an amazing testimony, and I'm so glad that you shared that with us. My name is Chelsea Atkins. I am 34 years old. I live in Toledo, Ohio, and I came from a home with a single parent. I watched my mom work multiple jobs. I was the oldest of four, so I got to spend a lot of time helping take care of and raise my siblings. I was the one to help do homework, put dinner on the table at night, make sure everyone got their showers and all of that. And as much as I recognize and idolize my mom for everything that she did to provide for us, I swore at a young age that I was never going to put my family in that position. So as soon as I graduated from high school, I went to college, and the market crashed right when I graduated from college. So it was really difficult for me to find a job in my career. I had invested over $100,000 into my college education, and I wasn't finding any careers that would give me the opportunity to grow and be able to support myself. So I actually started in retail banking as a part-time teller, worked hard, kept my nose down, and all of that, and found myself to be promoted to an assistant branch manager, and I stayed in the banking industry for 10 years. But again, I started having a family, I met my husband, and I was finding that I didn't have the work-life balance that I wanted. I have a 4-year-old who, as soon as I found out I was pregnant with her, I wanted to be able to stay home with her. I wanted to be able to spend time with her and all of that. And even though banking hours, everyone says bankers hours are great. Yeah, we're open 9 to 5. You go in an hour before that, you're there an hour after, you're open on Saturdays. And there's just a lot that goes along with it. And it took a lot of my time and energy away from my family. So Gigi actually shared the Forex opportunity with my husband just over 2 years ago. And he started trading, and he kept saying, babe, I really think that you need to take advantage of this. I think that this is something that you'd be great at. I think it'll help give you more balance. And I was like, no, no. So last summer, I got into a place where I was just really overwhelmed with the amount of time that I was putting into my work and rather than my family. So I said, okay, show me this Forex stuff. And he showed me, what it was that he was doing. He showed me the education, and all of that. And I started learning. And I left my job in October of last year. I'm now able to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm now teaching my peers and helping Gigi pour into the others around us because this opportunity has saved my life. It's given me the opportunity to actually look at, my family and provide for my family. And because of Forex, my family was able to pay down quite a bit of our debt. We were able to purchase our first home. We bought our first brand new car. I've been able to pay down a lot of credit card and student loan debt. And I finally feel like I have that freedom to be able to take advantage of my own life and to be able to be in front of myself rather than running from everything else. So Forex has exponentially changed my life, and I'm forever grateful to Gigi for sharing this with my family and I.
Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. You were a college graduate, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were working a full-time job with the bank?
Yes.
And your husband was able to replace your income. Do you mind sharing as a college graduate what your average income was?
So in retail banking, when I left, my salary was $60,000 a year, and I made commission on top of that. So I was probably averaging between $75,000 and $100,000 a year.
And you feel like that Forex was a better choice than working that 40 hours a week giving to someone else?
100%.
And you know for a fact that the banks trade our money in Forex?
Yes, I do. I've seen the rooms that they do it in.
All right. So thank you so much for that wonderful story. And thank you for everything you do for the team. All right, teens, we have another teenager on here. She got started in a boot camp just like this. About a year and a half ago, we had a boot camp and we had a lot of teenagers get on it. And she took advantage of the free knowledge she got. So Jamil, if you don't mind telling everyone your story, how you got started in Forex. This is for high school graduating seniors. I'm going to do a boot camp for them, sort of like we did for you guys. So could you tell them a little bit about yourself and your success?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you, Miss Gigi, for having me on. Guys, I'm gonna really say before I even start, like, please just take in everything you're getting. Please, 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 because we're so young. You guys are so young, and most people's only regret is about Forex is that they didn't start earlier. So please just take in all the knowledge that you're getting. But just about me, like she said, my name is Jamil. I just turned 20 years old last month. I got introduced to this opportunity by one of my friends. She told me about it, and I actually turned it down the first time I heard it. I was like, I never heard of this before. I knew a little bit about stocks, but I had never heard about the foreign exchange market. And then she actually told me, she was like, well, my mentor is doing a free course. And, free, what, you know what I'm saying? Let me just see what it's about. So that's when I actually met Clint, Million, and Gigi. And they basically took me under their wing. We did the boot camp, and I was all in. Prior to that experience, I was going to my local community college. Didn't really want to be there. Just was doing it because that's what my parents wanted me to do. I was under their roof, so it's their rules. But really, when I started learning this, it was making sense from a young age. I always knew I wanted to be wealthy, make a lot of money. I was always looking into how you can make money online, just trying to work smarter, not harder. So started learning, really took it serious. I even messaged Clint on the side and was just like, I really want, I want to take this to the next level. We were having the group sessions, but I was like, I want that extra help. So we were doing sessions, and I really try to learn as much as I can. Started learning. I ended up joining IM Academy. I'm a Platinum 1000 leader, literally a couple away from Platinum 2000. I've been teaching people, just educating people as much as I can, because I feel like I learned this for free. So I owe everyone a duty to also teach. But from then, I did end up dropping out of college, and I don't promote that, but I'm going to say, guys, do what's best for you. If college is not the route for you, it is okay. College is not for everybody. Now, don't tell your parents, I said that because they might be a little mad at me. But I always say your parents want what's best for you, but they don't know what's best for you. And especially with the times right now, things are changing. A college degree is not worth what it used to be. Back in the day, it was a little worth it. You could get a good degree and you could get a good paying job. Right now, technology is where it's at, though. So why not find a way to make money from your phone, from your Wi-Fi, from your laptop, with all that's going on? Especially with coronavirus, a lot of people are having to find new routes. So this is definitely one that you want to hop on. But I've been able to quit my job. Haven't worked a job in about almost a year now. I probably will never work a job in my life because, guys, once you learn this skill set, no one can take it from you. It kind of changes your thought process also, because whatever somebody makes in hours, you're learning how to make in minutes. So like I say, it just kind of opens your mind. I had never even knew you can make $11 in a couple minutes, $12 in a couple minutes. I knew you had to clock in for that, and then you got paid. But basically, that's a little bit about me. Just like I said, for my young people, please take this serious. Gigi will tell you, we were in a boot camp with almost 50 kids, and honestly, only probably about 5 of us still trade. So I'm really saying, like, just take it serious.
Thank you so much. And guys, like she said, she teaches other people to trade now, and she made enough money, and she knows that once you become a solid Forex trader, your income goes up year after year. It doesn't go down. You give yourself raises as you daily compound and learn to manage your money. So thank you so much, Jamil. We'll probably have to get you on as a guest educator one day. Got to
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
get back on ForexNChill again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, let's take it back home. We have Clifton Oxendine on here. He's actually an educator, or he works for the school systems back home in North Carolina. He's a new trader. Like me, he learned about investing later on in life, but we want to make sure that you teens that are on here don't have to end up with all these crazy school loans or working the next 20 or 30 years before you actually find out how to invest. Because really, if you take this opportunity seriously, as you're going to hear from a couple other people in a few minutes, you will never have to work for anyone again, and you can be a millionaire by the time you're 30. All right, so Clifton, are you there? All right, we might have lost Clifton.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Are you there? Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so I kind of was going in and out whenever you were talking, but yes, I am an educator. I've actually been in education for 15 years, holding various positions, and recently, within the past year or so, I kind of found out that I was actually on a chopping block at one institution that I worked for like 13 years, 13, 14 years. So that kind of woke me up to realize that it really doesn't matter what you do for an organization. It doesn't really matter what you do whenever you're working for other people. At the end of the day, all they care about is how much money they make. So with that being said, I knew I had to start looking out for me a little more than I was actually looking out for me before. See, before I was like a company guy. So, you know, they needed something done. I'd stay late, go in early. I'd miss time with, you know, my son. I got an 11-year-old son. I'd miss time with him. You know, I was just doing everything for the company, and then come to find out, you know, I was like 5 minutes away from losing my job and being in the unemployment line. So I don't know how much you guys know about pay in education, but it's really not all that much. Ow, hit my knee. So, you know, had I lost my job, I'd have probably been just like, you know, the statistics that Gigi was showing. I would have probably had to get some kind of minimum wage job to kind of hold me over, or at least try to hold me over. I would have to try to obviously send out resumes, you know, basically work harder to get another job, you know, to try to maintain my lifestyle or whatever. So I knew I need to make a decision about securing my future as well as my son's future, because, you know, he's 11. He's still got his whole life ahead of him too. So I did reach out to Gigi earlier this year. It was shortly after New Year's. It was sometime in January, I want to say, maybe February. And I actually started trading end of February, early March, I want to say. And it is definitely something that I am going to work to make my full-time job. My goal, I'm 39 right now. So my goal is to not work at all whenever I turn 50. So in about 11 years, I want to stop working, and I want to do everything that I want to do. So I foresee, I've sat down a couple of nights ago and started working out some numbers. I really think within the next 2 years, maybe sooner, hopefully sooner, but within the next 2 years, I will be trading full time. I'll leave my state job and just pick this up full time. And the great thing, the flexibility with the trading, I'm at the beach right now. I can sit on the beach and make 50, 60 bucks in like 5 minutes. I can't do that going to work for the man every day. If I need to like not trade for a day, I cannot trade for a day. I can spend that day with my son, especially now with the quarantine stuff. So it provides flexibility, yes. It gives you another way to make money, yes. But the great thing that I find about it is that you are not depending on the man. Like, you're not expecting someone else to pay you. You're working for yourself. You're your own boss. I mean, to me, that's flexibility. That's a mindset. That's, I mean, it just makes life so a lot less stressful. You know, I grew up, you know, and actually grew up in Prospect also. So we struggled. I mean, it was a constant struggle growing up financially. And it wasn't so much that my parents didn't make money. It's just that my parents had very poor management skills, money management skills. So, I mean, it was just not a good situation. And so growing up, I knew I wanted to not be in that type of situation. So I've actually had to bust my butt to, you know, put myself through school. I actually went to the Army to actually pay for, hold on a second. I actually went to the Army to pay for my college education. So I've made these decisions to get to this point in my life to where I can say, I don't need anyone else. It's all about me. I'm going to be in control of my retirement. I'm going to be in control of my son's future. I've actually already got him learning how to read charts. So, and he's 11 years old, because I want him to have that freedom from other people also. So definitely, please, especially, you know, my people, you know, we like to try to take care of our people. Take advantage of this opportunity, because it is definitely once in a lifetime. No one's going to beg you to stay in, although I hope you would, because I want to see all my people succeed, all my babies. I call everyone my babies. So definitely take control of your own situation, of your own life. And like so many other people said, at least one other person, I think, you know, I was going in and out. College isn't for everyone. I actually teach in college. College is not for everyone. Some people do very well without a college education. Don't tell your parents we said that, but you know, it's just not for everyone. Some people can read these charts like in 5 seconds, and they can make $5 grand in a day just reading the chart. Okay, so definitely take advantage of this. Constantly learn, constantly read. This isn't something that you go to a class, you take a test, and you can go make 6 figures. This is something that you're going to actually have to build upon. It is a skill set, and it's kind of like professional athletes. Just because they're good at baseball, they don't stop practicing. They don't stop training. So definitely take advantage of it. And I know I've kind of went a little long here, but I hope you guys do get into it. I hope you are very successful. And I hope that you definitely give back to the community also.
Thank you, Clifton, so much, guys. And thank you for being honest. Like he said, he's a college graduate, he's a college educator, but we don't want to see people get into something and end up owing a lot of money they're not going to end up doing for the rest of their lives. I love education, I support education, but for the people that aren't going to end up like I had big school loans, and I didn't end up doing what I went to school for, and it took me years to pay it off. So next is one of my favorite success stories. One Saturday morning, I got on a call like this, and I saw this young man, and I heard his testimony. And when I heard about how much money he was making trading in less than a year, I was like, oh my God. And I saw how committed he was. And just by seeing his story, it changed everything about the way I looked at Forex. You might have a hard time understanding him because English is his second language. He's from a beautiful country called Cyprus. And he too was in college. And then he found out about Forex. And now he actually is a professional educator teaching other people about Forex. So he's young enough to be my son, but I look up to him as a mentor and a friend. We have Marios all the way from beautiful Greece.
Hello, guys. Hello. So thank you, Gigi, for your good words. Okay, so guys, as Gigi mentioned, I'm Marios. I'm 24 years old. I'm trading Forex 3 years now, full time. And yes, I'm from Cyprus. My English is my second language, so don't judge my English. Okay, so I will tell you a few words 2 minutes from your time about Forex. Okay, so guys, Forex for me is magic. Okay, it's my job and I love my job. I started trading Forex again 3 years ago when I was in the college, and I was studying civil engineering because I love mathematics and stuff like that. And when I learned about Forex, I was like, okay, I need to focus on that thing. I'm spending like 10 hours in the charts per day until today. So yes, I focus a lot of time in the market. And my advice for you guys is do what you love to do. And if you love to do something, you will be successful on it. So if you see Forex and you don't give up from the first problem you will have with the market, because we have bad days, we have good days, okay? You will be successful on it. Spend hours on it, and you will be successful on it, okay? So Forex is like other jobs, okay? Some people tell you can make, huge money, and yes, you can do that, okay? But in order for you to do this kind of stuff, you need to be disciplined and you need to put a lot of hours in the market, okay? So just focus on this skill set, learn about this skill set, spend hours again on this skill set, and you remind my words is going to be worth it, okay? So again, don't think that, okay, this is just, some hours. Okay, if you are not going to do the 100%, in my opinion, just don't do it at all. Okay, this is how I am. So if I'm going to do something, I will do the 100%. That's why when I learned about Forex, I wasn't making nothing from the market, and I dropped out from college in order for me to focus on the market, because when I'm doing something, I'm 100% on that something. Okay, this is how I work, and until now, okay, I'm successful, okay, and I'm keep growing every day. So yes, learn about the skill set, focus, and give a lot of time in the skill set, and never give up with your first failure, okay? Everything happens for a reason. So we have bad days, we have good days. Everyone has these things, okay? So focus, be disciplined and patient, and everything is going to play out at the end, okay? So that's it from me, guys. Be safe, and yes, learn the skill set. Gigi is a very good trader. I know her, okay? So focus on Gigi, okay? And she can take you to another level, okay? So that's it for me, guys. Thank you. And
So Marios, can I ask you one quick question?
Yes.
The average income where we live is only $15,000 a year. Do you think the potential to make more than that is here with Forex?
50,000 a year?
15,000.
15,000 a year. Yes. You can make more than that.
All right. Thank you so much for your story. We appreciate you. So yeah, he's a very successful trader, guys. That's all I tell you. He makes a lot more than $15,000 a year. So next, we're going to have one of his best friends and one of my best friends. His name is Terrell. He's another gentleman who was able to make more than 6 figures in under a year. He was also a college graduate. He was also working, but he was still also under the age of 30. And he has a special guest on with him that's really going to blow you away. So I'm going to turn it over to one of my best friends now, one of my trading BFFs, Terrell.
Yo, what's up, Gigi? You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. How y'all doing, everybody? Won't take too much of y'all time. I heard some amazing stories. So honestly, if that didn't get you, like they got me, I'm like, man, I want to learn some more. You know what I mean? But yeah, with that being said, like Gigi said, my name's Terrell, 29-year-old entrepreneur. I'm from the South Side Chicago, born and raised, where I'm currently at now. I saw this 2 years ago, January of 2018. And when I saw this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea what Forex was. Didn't even know it's possible to make money from your cell phone. I was going through some hard times, and when I saw it, I was a little skeptical for the simple fact, like told you, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. This is like the home of card crackers and you know what I mean, like scamming, all types of stuff. Like you can't even Western Union in Illinois, I found out not too long ago, because there's so much scamming going on here. So I wasn't I wasn't shooting towards the opportunity like some of these people said they were, you know what I mean? But I am about having an open mind. So I listened to the individuals that was talking to me about it. And man, after they told me they'll teach me the skill set, because typical scammers, they're not going to teach you anything. They're just going to take your money and run. So when they told me they'll teach me, I locked arms. You know what I mean? Me coming from me being an inner city kid, single family home, mother raising me and my little sister, brother getting killed. Back in 2000, back in 2010, I was actually in the car. So every day I wake up every morning to this day, I still feel like I have to grind even harder, because some part of me, because my brother isn't here, I feel like I shouldn't be here either, because the day he died is the day I could have died as well. You know what I mean? So I told myself, once I saw that first trade that I got in go from 30 cents to $30 in less than 5 minutes, I pretty much told myself I was going to go hard with it. Like Mario said, like studying, you know what I mean? Like I did graduate. I'm going to be honest with you. I went to college, did that whole deal, played sports in college. But I didn't buy books. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't into the whole school thing. School was easy to me, but it was easy to the fact that it did not challenge me. I didn't want it. Like I ended up graduating college with a 3.6 GPA, and I don't, to this day, if you ask me how did I do it, I have no idea. I didn't buy a single book. I went to class, but like I was a professional copier. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not your average great student, because it didn't challenge me. But when I saw this and I saw the amount of money that can actually be made, that's what got me. Growing up, I was always about hustle. I was always about money. And man, I saw this, and I pretty much, man, it blew my mind. Like I said, I made that first $30, and then I just locked arms with some great people like Mario's, like Gigi, you know what I mean? And like they pushed me to become the best individual I could be when it came to this actual skill set. And with that being said, in my first year, actually within 7 months, I turned $2,000 into over 6 figures. And now I've made a little bit over $200,000 over the course of the last of my career of trading, which has only been about 2 years now. I'm actually on the verge. I literally just got done text messaging my realtor. We had a long conversation yesterday. She got some stuff in place for me today. So I just got done texting her. I'm actually on the verge of moving down to Houston, Texas. Beautiful home that I'm looking at there. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home there. So my life is just drastically different, doing things for my family that I could have never imagined. You know what I mean? All just because I decided to take advantage of, a skill set that they don't teach us on purpose in school. They don't want us to know stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because this is very life-changing. I like to tell people all the time, this is literally what the rich do. You know what I mean? And you're not going to learn this in school. You're not going to learn this in school because they want to keep as many people at the bottom as possible. I'm going to just be honest. And I'm not sitting here to talk to anybody about not going to college, but that was literally the worst decision that I made, was go to college. And that's coming from somebody who had partial scholarships through baseball. So that was one of the things I wish I did not do. If I saw something like this at 18, 19 years old, I mean, you would literally have to drive up to my house right now. Like literally you need a GPS to get to my home, because like this thing is that big, you know what I mean? So I educate people around the world now. I'm very big on education. I study all the time. I'm very dedicated to the craft. And just like Mario said, again, he's my trading partner, somebody I talk to every single day, even though he's on the other side of the world. Like study. Like if you're going to study anything, study something that's worth studying. And this is actually that. So that's my story. GG.
Y'all, that is amazing. And just think, he and Mario started at the same time, under the age of 30, and in under 2 years to make over $200,000 is just phenomenal. I remember when these guys, their goal was to earn 6 figures. Now their goal is 7 figures, and they the track they're on, they can do that in well under 5 years. Some people, maybe under 4 or 3, because they're just that disciplined and that serious with this. But Terrell also has a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce his guest and talk about his guest.
Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot that fast, didn't I? My bad. Okay, so yeah, guys, I have somebody on here. It was just last minute as well, so I appreciate him for hopping on. But when Gigi told me what this call was about, and like she wanted to talk to, like graduating seniors and everything. And by the way, congratulations, and sorry you all could not have like a ceremony for your graduation. That is the big deal, you know what I mean? So I definitely want to applaud that and everything. But I have a guy, a special young man on here that he reached out to me on social media about a year ago now, probably not even a full year ago. And when he reached out to me, like I get a lot of text messages. I get a lot of messages from people because I teach the skill set. So a lot of people reach out to me. So a lot of people don't catch my eye. I'm going to just put it that way. When I get messages, a lot of them I ignore. I don't ignore on purpose. It's just I'm so busy, plus overwhelmed by messages, I'll never get anything done. But this young man, he was so persistent. He was so hungry. At the time, I did not know he was a young man. I thought he was just another person reaching out to me, hitting me up on social media. Come to find out, I reached out to him because he was hitting me up so much. Turns out he was a 14-year-old, kid in Nigeria. And, just because I heard his story and he was talking to me, he was so persistent, like that drive reminded me of myself. Like always wanting to get out of my situation. I always wanted me to get out of my area of living that I was in for as long as I can remember, you know what I mean? I decided to really kind of hold his hand and take him to, not so much to say the promised land, but to give him the essential skills that he needed to be able to change his situation and his family situation. So with that being said, I want to introduce my little guy. He's like a little brother to me. He's the definition of a student. He's always asking questions. He's always like, he's a sponge. He really, everything that you tell him, he literally, he doesn't take time to like try to think, should he do it or not? Okay. And next thing you know, he do exactly what you say to do. And the result shows so quickly. So 14-year-old, my boy, Aki, are you here, bro?
Yes,
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Cool. So yeah, real quick, bro. I just kind of, if you don't mind, like, do you kind of like mind giving your story really quick to the people, like, kind of, I know how you are, so I ain't gonna really tell you to give a whole speech, but you mind like telling your story really fast?
Okay. Yeah, so I came about Forex like 2 years ago. My mom actually showed me, she had an advertisement about it, so she actually joined the IML, and from there I got to know about the role. So I went on Instagram, messaged him a lot of times, and then finally he responded, spoke to my parents and all that. He taught me, and finally the skill set has been able to change my life, change the whole situation in my family, change our lives. Over here, I've been able to make 6 figures because exchange rate and all that. But over here in my country, I can proudly say I've made over 6 figures just this year alone.
Wow, like that. That's big for anybody who did not hear that. Like he said, the exchange rate for his country. He didn't make 6 figures here in America, but based off of his country, he's a 6-figure earner. because the value of the U.S. dollar here is much greater there. You know what I mean? So, I keep like, what, like, did you, how much money did you withdraw last week when we spoke?
I withdrew over $2,000.
$2,000. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we all traded together this week, and everything. Were you profitable this week based off of the trades you got in?
Yeah, I made a little over $400.
A little bit over $400 this week. So you withdrew. So you made over $2,000 last week, and you made a little bit over $400 this week, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, guys, like, just think about that. 14 years old, right? We're talking $2,400 in 2 weeks. Most people, like, I was making $32 an hour at my last job, my previous job before I actually retired. And my checks every 2 weeks wasn't even $2,500 after taxes and everything. You know what I mean? So he just made, like, honestly, before like, not even in the full 2 weeks, he's made what most people don't even make in the course of a month. Some people don't make that type of money in a month, even with degrees. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not sitting here to bag on schooling and all of that, but school is not going to teach you that. They're going to prepare you to go work for somebody to tell you what you can and cannot do. I heard a lot of people on this call talk about how they was away from their families and their loved ones and all that. And I'm sitting here to tell you today, with the grandmother who's no longer here, with the brother who's no longer here. Like, those are times you need to those are times you need to value. You know what I mean? Like, time with your family is not forever, and I learned that the hard way. You know what I mean? Some people sick, some people just got killed based off of, but tomorrow is not promised. So learn a skill set, put yourself in position to where you can actually change your life and your family lives as well. And also have those memories with your family. You know what I mean? So that's all I pretty much got. I really appreciate your story, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep striving. You already know what the goal is. We talk about it every week. You know what I mean? And Gigi, I appreciate you having us, and everybody else. Love you all story. Thank you.
Oh God, I love hearing your story, and I love hearing Ike's story, to know he's on the other side of the world. I had 6 roommates from Kenya, from Africa. So I know what the income is over there, and to hear him making this kind of money at the age of 14, I know he's going to change a lot of lives in his country, not just his immediate family. So we thank you guys so much. We only have 2 more people that are going to speak, and then we're going to jump off. And the ones who are interested in moving forward with the boot camp, please reach out to me. Have your children reach out to me. So next, I want to bring up Eric. He's from our hometown. Like we said, the average income there is $15,000 a year. So he knows the struggle there. And just like Terrell was subjected to violence, we know how the violence is back home, and how it's hard just surviving there now. And guys, one thing I learned, going to work for someone else will take care of you. It's a respectable thing to do, but nobody became a millionaire from clocking in and clocking out. So we're just here to teach you how to invest. And Eric, tell everybody about you and how learning to invest has changed your life.
Okay, my name's Eric Locklear. I'm from Red Springs, North Carolina. I've been to college. I work for a school system. I'm actually assistant director for technology. I make great money there. But my wife, she got sick in 2012, and her health just started going down. So we were in a situation to where I made enough money to pay the bills, but we lived from paycheck to paycheck. And she was like, I just need, because she was going back and forth to work. She would, like, if she had 21 days she had to work for the month, she probably worked 10 of those days. And so I was like, I want to find a way to make her life better. And well, in 2018, I sent a message to Gigi, and she was actually overseas working. And so she sent me to Rob, which is her brother, but we never could meet up. So I was in 2019. It was like January the 23rd. Gigi was actually back home, and I sent her a message. She said, "Jump on this call." I jumped on this call. That was on January the 28th, and that was when my journey started. I got into Forex. I sat down I'd come home from work, and every night I would just sit there and I would study 7 hours after I got home. And about 11, 12 o'clock at night, I'd go to bed the next day. And I did that for 2 weeks straight. And I got into the market in February. I was doing good, but not where I wanted to be. So I went out and got a mentor, and you just spoke to my mentor, Terrell. He's actually my mentor. And February 18th, I caught gold that day, and I made a ton of money on gold. And I was like, oh my God. So my best day that I've had was right at $8,000. So I told my wife, we had got her a new car, and she was like, well, how are we gonna make this car payment? I said, don't worry about the car payment. And so at that moment in time, she came home and she retired. She hasn't been back to work since. That was in March of 2019. So with my income and with Forex last year, I made about 160,000, which is pretty good money for this area. Because like Gigi said, 15,000 is what the average is. So we live very, very comfortable. My wife doesn't have to worry about getting up in the morning. As a matter of fact, in December, I almost decided that I was almost through, but I'm too close to retirement to. I said, they're not getting away with that. They're going to give me my retirement. Well, I have a child is in the same situation that all of you high schoolers are in. You're graduating. Last year, I tried to get her to do Forex. She kept on blowing me off. So I said, listen, this is something you need to do. She was like, well, I just don't know. And so every month she comes to me and she's like, Dad, today's the first you put my allowance in my bank account, because she's away at college. And I'm like, yeah, I'll put your money in there. Don't worry about it. So I put her money in there. Then she came home during this pandemic, and she's like, Dad, I want to learn Forex. I was like, why do you want to learn Forex? She said, well, you put an allowance in my bank account every month. She said, but there's this your kid at school. He's driving a brand new 2019 Honda Accord, decked out, tinted windows, everything. And she said, Mo, she asked him, what does his parents do? He said, they work in a factory. And they're able to afford that. He said, no, he said, I pay for this with Forex. And she's like, what are you talking about with Forex? He said, I trade Forex 3 hours a day. And he said, I made 60,000 last year, and he's in college. So immediately she came back home. She's like, Dad, I got to learn Forex. She said, I can sit at school for 3 hours. I can make money, and I don't have to work a job while I'm there. So the situation that we're in is that she's actually, I'm gonna try to get her in this boot camp so she can actually learn this trade, and she could go on to be successful. If she wants to use her education after college, she can. If she has her bank account or her Forex account up to where she don't have to worry about it, she just don't have to. But it shows you that me as a parent, I could speak it, and she never, ever, ever paid me any attention. All she knew is that Dad put these $500 in her account every month for her to have to spend. But it takes somebody outside for them to see, wait a minute, I can do this, because she saw somebody else doing it. Where if she'd have listened to me, she'd have been already trading and making her own money. So take Gigi's words and run with those words. Take this bootcamp. This is free knowledge. You can't beat free knowledge. All my knowledge I've paid for. Somebody's giving it to you. Take it and just spread it. That's all I got, Gigi.
Eric, isn't that how it is? We tell our kids something, they don't listen, but then they hear somebody else talk about it and it's gold. So
That's exactly
I'm
the way
glad
it
she's
is.
finally come around to this. And guys, hopefully we can get Eric on one of our sessions to help teach you guys something about Forex. We're going to be trying to have it on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. So we only got one more person that's going to speak. Before Justin comes on, I just want to say a lot of you probably heard about the economy crashing. You're not investors yet, but you probably know parents or aunts or uncles or somebody was talking about, oh, when the economy crashed back in February, I lost a lot of money. My 401k took a hit. I know people who lost a couple $100,000. Well, this next person, just off one trade, he made a year's salary, because when the market crashes, we are able to make money. When everybody else's 401k was crashing, we were making money. And he placed one trade and held it throughout the month, and he made about 4 times our annual salary on that one trade. And he's also an award-winning music producer. So you guys who know me, you know I'm in gospel music and I love music. So we connect on a lot of levels. Mr. Justin, if you could tell them a little bit about your success with Forex and why they should give this their full attention.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you, GD, for having me on. Listen, I just want to encourage everybody, like you, especially the youngsters out there. You are in a prime place. You are in a situation like none other. Like, I wish I had the opportunity to learn this when I was your age. Very, very much like Eric and Terrell was saying, I have a daughter right now who is a high school senior, and she's going through the same thing, very, pretty much just like how you guys are going through. And I've now introduced her to Forex. So she is, she's a valedictorian. She's very, very smart young lady and doing well in school. She has done it since she was in kindergarten, but now she's, transitioning into adulthood. So, this is something everybody can learn how to do and capitalize on. So for me, like Gigi said, I'm originally from the Orlando, Florida area, born and raised. Gospel music has been, like home to me. It's always going to be home, but I've also done other things in country and pop and R&B. So I've kind of done the whole spectrum, touring musician, session musician, still to this day in Nashville, Tennessee. So done all that, been on the stages, played in front of thousands, and I still do it from time to time when the situation presents itself. But just like everybody else, I'm a college graduate. But like most people, you're confined to a certain income when you have a college degree. So what for me, I actually worked a position for the state of Tennessee. I worked in the Department of Children's Services for at least 4 or 5 years. And, I say this all the time to a lot of people, you never think about what happens when your job quits you, and I'm not down on jobs. I'm definitely not down on education, but I do believe in getting the right education with Forex. To me, this is the right education. So one day, my job, basically let me go on a technicality that was out of my control. And thank God I had music, because music was, paying the bills just as much as my job was. So I had that to fall off on for a couple years. And I was introduced to later on, fast forward to now, a couple years ago, I was introduced to Forex through a friend of mine, and he was more of a builder from another company that we were in, and actually he kind of fell off. So when I learned, I said I took my first trade back in 2018, like Terrell. I think all of us came around the same time. And when I saw I could turn 8 cents into $42 in seconds, I was like, okay, this is worth learning. This is worth getting good at. So, up to now, like Gigi said, one of my best days in the market was like $16,400 and some change. So, I took a seriousness to this, to learn this skill set. And like she said, we can make money as the market goes up. We can make money as the market crashes. So when I took the trade in February, and I held that trade for like a month, I capitalized, I think maybe like 53 grand, right? A little under $54,000 in 1 month. So I just want to encourage everybody, take this skill, take what you hear and apply it to your life. Take this, you'll never be able to, let me say it this way. If you have a job, you have relatively no opportunity or little opportunity to become a millionaire. With this, millionaires are made every day. So Gigi, that's my time. You know, I just want to thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Justin. And that's basically it, guys. Any of our guests have any questions? I'm going to post this video in the group for the seniors, for the ones who missed it or their parents to look over today. And the boot camp will start in about 2 weeks. I have something going on with Terrell, so we're not going to start immediately. It's going to be about 2 weeks before we start. Give everybody time to review this and discuss it with their parents, because you do have to be 18 in the US to open a trading account, but we're going to be trading with demo accounts. We will not be using real money because you need to learn to trade before you do go live into the market. But do any of our guests have any questions? And everybody that spoke, thank you so much. This really means a lot to me. Just let me know how to pay it back. So any guests have any questions? Some of you I know are new to Zoom. You have to actually unmute your microphone to speak. And I see like DeMont, he's on, he doesn't have a microphone, so he can't speak, but if you want to type in the chat, Kenzie, Kaylee, I know Miss Amy's on, Serene, Harden, any of you guys got questions? Elena, no questions? All right, guys, so that's it. I'm going to drop the video, and I thank you all for your time. You guys be blessed and have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you.